Jason White is approaching the podium to gavel the session to order.
Welcome. I'd like to call this joint session to order. I'd like to introduce Pastor Danny R. Hollins of Grace Inspirations Church in Jackson and Cedar Grove Baptist Church in Pocahontas to the podium to deliver our invocation. Pastor Hollins.
Shall we pray? Forth, or ever the earth and the world were formed, from everlasting to everlasting you are God. O God, we bow in humble submission before you and in your presence to thank you for affording us the privilege of gathering this evening for this momentous event. We thank you for this piece of southern earth of yours called Mississippi. You've blessed us with it. And we know, God, that just like our ancestors before us, we are only stewards of what you have entrusted to us. Grant that we would have the wherewithal to be good stewards in helping to shape what you have destined us to be. We bow with an understanding that you have ordained that we should have leaders, many of whom are here today to plan, to make policy on behalf of the citizenry of this state and our posterity. Bless them, O God. Bless them with wisdom. Bless them with insight and discernment. Bless them with courage and compassion. And as they convene, confer, and communicate concerning matters of your people, give them the guidance of your all-powerful hand in their decision-making. Among the many voices that they will hear from day to day, above all others. O God, bless the leaders of the two congressional houses. Give them the necessary skills to help to promote compromise and productivity for your people. And Lord, for the chieftain of this state, the governor, Mr. Tate Reeves, who will now lay out his vision for days to come. I pray that his every effort will serve to lift our communities and to be a blessing to farmers and teachers and factory workers and first responders and all of them that labor from day after day to build a brighter future. Bless his family, his staff, and all of those whom he's surrounded himself with to give him counsel and guidance. And now, Lord, protect the members of this government and all of us beyond that from those who will secretly plot and plan to do violence and harm. Protect our schools, our marketplaces, our churches, and where we work and play. We are totally reliant on your all-seeing eye and your almighty hand to keep us safe. It is in the name of him who's able to keep us from falling, indeed the Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. At this time, please join me in welcoming our Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Delbert Hosemann.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please stand as Mississippi National Guard Band performs the national anthem. Thank you very much to the National Guard and all you do for us. I'd like to begin by extending my special welcome to my wife, Lynn, who's right here, who's in attendance with me today. Thank you, Lynn. Also want to recognize and thank all of you for joining us today. We're grateful to have everyone with us. I'll take a moment to introduce the public officials that are here today. From the Mississippi Supreme Court, Chief Justice Mike Randolph, Justice Leslie King, Justice Robert Chamberlain, Justice David Ishii, Justice Kenneth Griffiths, Justice David Sullivan, and new Justice Jennifer Branning. Members of the Court of Appeals, Chief Judge Donna Barnes, Judge Deborah McDonald, Judge Anthony Lawrence, Judge David Neal McCarty, John Empfinger, Judge John Weedle, Judge Amy Lassiter St. Pay, also new. Transportation Commissioners John Caldwell, his wife Lynn Lee, and Commissioner Willie Simmons, Charles Busby, Commissioner. Public Service Commissioners Chris Brown, DeKeither Stamps, and Wayne Carr. Also our statewide elected officials, Attorney General Lynn Fitch, State Auditor Shad White, State Treasurer David McRae, and Commissioner Mike Cheney. So, to the Constitution, pursuant to Section 122 of the Mississippi Constitution, the governor shall, from time to time, give the legislature information of the state of the government and recommend for consideration such measures as may be deemed necessary and expedient. It is now my pleasure to welcome Governor Tate Reeves, Senator John Horn, Michael McClendon, and Robin Robinson, as well as Representatives Otis Anthony, Dana McLean, Price Wallace, Tamika James Jones, will please escort Governor Reeves to the dais for the State of the State. Governor Tate Reeves is now recognized to give the 2025 State of the State Address. Governor Reeves.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Hoseman and Speaker White, to the members of the legislature, other distinguished guests, and to all of my fellow Mississippians. Thank you. The State of the State is a time-honored tradition delivered by governors for years. It is how we mark the end of one year and the beginning of another. And I just got to tell you, the year we just ended is going to be an awfully hard act to follow. Thanks to your hard work and commitment, the state of our state marks 2024 on so many levels as the most successful in Mississippi history. Together, we broke record after record after record, and our economy roared. Billions of dollars were invested in our state, and thousands of jobs were created. Unemployment reached an all-time low, and Mississippi was top 3 in the nation for the fastest growing economy and top 4 in the nation for the fastest growing per capita income in all of America in the most recent data. This is the success that we promised the people of our state. We said Mississippi had momentum, and this is Mississippi's time. And the results are clear. In fact, this is Mississippi's time. We had win after win on behalf of the people who live here, and we did things that some thought would never be possible. I want to personally thank all of you for your hard work. It would not have been possible without you. Success on this scale is a team effort. And in 2025, we will soar to even greater heights. We will accomplish even bigger things. But before we go any further, and believe me, I am going to go further into this success, I want to remind everyone watching why we have seen what we have seen. I want to remind you why we push so hard. Our goal is not statistics. It is not dollars invested, not even jobs created. Our goal is families. We want Mississippi to be the best place in America to raise a family, the best place in America to keep a family together, and the best place in America to have your kids raise your grandkids. That is why we do it. We know that our state has the best culture, the best tradition. It is the best place for families. We know our people want to stay here, and other people would love the community they'd find here. But to make that possible, Mississippi must be the best state to build and grow a business. The best state. Tonight, I am filled with hope and optimism for our future. And I am eager to highlight some of our state's incredible successes. But before I get in trouble, I'd like to begin by thanking a woman who makes my life happier, fuller, and better every single day. She's not able to be here with us tonight because she is feeling under the weather. I'm sure she, like millions of others, are watching from home and praying this is going to be a short speech. Everything I have accomplished in my life has been because I have had her by my side. She has supported me, she has encouraged me, and she has embodied beauty, grace, and service. Thank you, Ely, for the gift of being your husband. thank you for making me a dad. Thank you for the incredible example you have set for our daughters and for our state. In a life full of God's blessings, you have without question been God's greatest gift to me. I'm extraordinarily fortunate to have you by my side, and Mississippi is extraordinarily fortunate to have you as our First Lady. Thank you, Ely. And I hope you feel much better soon. 2024 was the single greatest year ever for Mississippi's economy. Billions of private sector dollars were invested here. Thousands of new jobs were created. An unprecedented economic development success benefited every region of our state. In fact, since I've been governor, Mississippi announced over $32 billion in new private sector investment. Let me say that again, $32 billion in new private sector investment has flowed into Mississippi since 2020. But this $32 billion is more than just figures mentioned in a speech or more than just numbers on a page. It's not about talking points. It's what they will do for our people that makes all the difference in the world. This $32 billion is a game changer for our state and for our citizens. These aren't dollars that will just sit in a bank account collecting interest. Instead, they're being deployed in a way that is in the best interest of Mississippians and in a way that will make Mississippians' lives better and will make our entire state of Mississippians and in a way that will make Mississippians' lives better and will make our entire state stronger. This $32 billion is helping to create thousands of jobs for the people who live here. It's helping families fill up their gas tanks, and it's helping put food on their table. It's helping even more workers seize better job opportunities, and it is helping Mississippi seize the momentous economic development opportunities that have been placed in front of us. My hat goes off to everyone here today for making this a reality. Y'all know this well, so I'm not telling you something new. Mississippians are the hardest workers in the nation. We have the best workers in the nation. If you want something built and built right and quickly, I say to every company in America, come build your products in Mississippi. Together, by staying true to our fiscally conservative principles, we've sent a message to America. And quite frankly, we've sent a message to the world that Mississippi is open for business. We have what it takes to get your products to market, and we will always get the job done. That's why, since 2020, we have created tens of thousands of new jobs and an economy that works better for every Mississippian. The results have been felt all across our state, from North Mississippi all the way to our Gulf Coast and everywhere in between. Make no mistake, something special is happening here, and it's something we should all celebrate. If we want to attract even more record-breaking private sector investment and create thousands more jobs, we must keep telling our Mississippi story. Our future depends upon it. Just last year, we finalized the single largest private sector investment in Mississippi history after working together on the $10 billion Amazon Web Services project. That's more than any other private sector investment in Mississippi since we became a state in 1817. As y'all may have seen, the project is building 2 large data centers, complexes, right here in the Jackson metro area, and creating 1,000 high-paying, high-tech jobs for Mississippians. And it's helping make Mississippi a hub for American technological innovation. In 2024, we also announced the single largest payroll commitment in state history, a $2 billion private sector investment by Accelera by Cummins, Daimler Trucks and Buses, and PACCAR that will create 2,000 jobs with an average annual salary of $66,000. That's more than $130 million that will be paid out to Mississippians every single year. We also recently broke ground on the largest private sector investment in the history of the Mississippi Delta, a $1.2 billion investment by Entergy to build the Delta Blues Advanced Power Station in Greenville. Once completed, this facility will generate enough energy to power 385,000 Mississippi homes. That's a lot of power. In 2024, we announced that PCC Gulf Chem is investing $540 million in Harrison County. Cook Foods is investing over $145 million in Scott County. Lieber is investing nearly $240 million in Lee County. Anduril Industries is investing $75 million in Stone County. And Gulf State Canners is investing nearly $41 million right here in Hinds County. And these are only a few of the incredible wins we have had in 2024. But we should all want more. And just 1 month into 2025, we did it again. Just yesterday, I was proud to help break ground on the new Compass Data Centers project, a $10 billion private investment for a new hyperscale data center in Lauderdale County in Meridian, Mississippi. $10 billion. This ties the AWS project for the largest one in the history of our state. This new campus will also create thousands of direct and indirect jobs. In 2024, $10 billion was the largest investment in state history. In 2025, $10 billion is simply just our first major win. Because also yesterday, we announced Yancey Engineered Solutions is investing over $20 million and hiring 250 workers in Batesville, Mississippi. This truly is Mississippi's time. During this time of record-shattering economic growth, Mississippi has never been stronger than she is at this moment. And we are so well positioned for the new golden age of America. Last week, I had the privilege of attending the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. As I said on social media, after he was sworn in to office for his second term, it's morning in America again. After 4 years of migrant crime, open borders, crushing inflation, sky-high gas and grocery prices, and weakness on the world stage, America once again has a leader who is putting America first and American families first. During his first term, President Trump lowered taxes lowered gas and grocery prices, made America respected by our allies and feared by our enemies, and built a record-breaking economy. He did it once, and he will do it again. President Trump is unleashing the American energy industry. The phrase, "drill, baby, drill," represents not only his unwavering commitment to producing energy right here in America, but his commitment to protecting the jobs of every man and woman who keeps America's economy moving. On his first day in office, President Trump removed us from the disastrous Paris Climate Agreement, revoked Joe Biden's ban on certain oil and gas drilling, and reversed the Biden ban on new liquefied gas export facilities. On his first day, President Trump was focused on making America energy rich, energy secure, and energy independent. But while Mississippi may have an ally in the White House, we are in intense competition with our fellow states. We are competing for jobs. We are competing for new private sector investment, and we are competing to retain a technologically advanced workforce. It is critical that we continue to invest in our state and create an economic climate that supports businesses and the investment and jobs they bring. The single best thing we can do for our state and her people is to eliminate our state's income tax. This money does not belong to the government. It belongs to the hard-working Mississippians who earn it. In today's economy, the competition among states for projects and investments is fierce. You've heard me say before that we are competing with states like Texas and Tennessee and Florida, all of which have no state income tax. Other states have taken notice of what is happening here in Mississippi. Not only have they taken notice, moreover, they've taken action. In 2024, Arkansas enacted its fourth tax cut in 2 years, reducing their top tax bracket to 3.9%. A random number, I'm sure. In a recent special session, Louisiana cut their top bracket to 3.5%. And in Georgia, in his State of the State address, Governor Kemp recently called for yet another reduction in their income tax rate. The competition for jobs and investment is real, and our fellow states are not waiting, they are competing. It is critical that Mississippi do the same. On that note, I would like to recognize and personally thank Speaker Jason White and House Ways and Means Chairman Trey Lamar for their work on House Bill 1. This piece of legislation, which was passed by a large bipartisan majority, by the way, shows us a realistic path to eliminate the tax on work in Mississippi once and for all. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who helped get this bill across the finish line in the House. As we all know, as the process goes, now House Bill 1 moves to the Senate, which means there is more work to be done. I urge our friends in the Senate to take action on this historic legislation. If there's something in the bill you don't like, let's talk about it. But if we truly share the same goal, let's figure it out together. Here I am reminded of what my old friend and former Jackson State football coach, Coach Prime, loves to say: I ain't hard to find. But please understand, doing nothing is not an option. Let's get this done. Send House Bill 1 to my desk for the hard-working men and women who have sent us here to do big things and make their lives better. Our fellow Mississippians are counting on us, and I know we have what it takes to get this legislation passed. Let's eliminate our tax on work once and for all. We always need more dollars flowing through Mississippi. We always need more action in the state of Mississippi. We know how to make that happen. Today, I want to issue a challenge and make a promise that will result in more winning than Mississippi has ever dared to dream. We must be a leader in American energy. We must be at the front of the pack in the race to have more power. In today's world, power is the key to prosperity. If we can be on the bleeding edge of energy technology, we can beat our peers and bring about more wealth and better lives for all Mississippians. First, let me just take a moment to recognize Public Service Commissioners Chris Brown, DeKeither Stamps, and Wayne Carr, and the work they have been doing in this regard. I appreciate their friendship and their focus and their partnership in this endeavor. I know they will be as excited as our state embarks upon a transformative effort that I'm calling Mississippi's Power Play. We are marshaling the forces of our government and our private sector to find bold solutions to bring more energy to our state's grid and to our economy. Right now, the top minds of our administration are huddled, developing plans to invest in affordable, abundant, American energy for the people of this state. We welcome all ideas and inputs on one condition: have a bias towards boldness. Help us dream bigger and aim higher. Help us lean in at this unique and opportune moment, and we will achieve great things together. This is the key to our future, and we know that we must get this right. One of the reasons that Mississippi has attracted such a historic run of private sector investment is our optimistic and abundance-minded energy policy. I'm telling you, when private sector companies learn that they can trust that we can provide the power to manufacture, to smelt, and to compute, their eyes light up and their wallets open up. They invest in our state, they invest in our people, and they invest in our land. But as we succeed, demand grows. And as demand grows, we must aim higher. What we are doing today is not enough. We must invest in energy to enrich our population. When we make power here, we create high-paying, stable jobs. This is how Mississippi rises. It will take all forms of energy in every corner of our economy. Electricity derived from nuclear power, from our sun, our winds, and that beautiful, life-giving technology, natural gas. We need transformative solutions and a sprint to escalate what we already know works. We do not need ideology and climate cult death wish politics. We need abundant, affordable energy that feeds ambition and wealth for our citizens. You already heard me mention $1 billion investment in a brand new Delta power plant. In the future, you will hear me announce more investment in energy from the private sector. And in the coming months, you will hear innovative solutions to unlock more energy here. Watch this space. Today, I simply want to beg for your mind and ambition to engage in this mission alongside us. Help us win more innovation, investment, and power, and our people will be rewarded more than ever before. This work, and I understand this work takes time and patience. It is not immediate gratification. I know I will not be governor when the true fruits of this effort are picked, but I will be a Mississippian, and I will be proud to look around and see the success of the state we all love. My friends, you've just heard me talk about the best things we can do to strengthen Mississippi and uplift her people. But I also want to spend a few minutes talking about what we shouldn't do, because that's also vitally important to the future of our state. First, we must continue our focus on expanding our workforce, not on expanding welfare. We need more people working, and we need less people dependent on government programs. Therefore, we must again resist the urge to use taxpayer dollars to expand government, because the radical left isn't going to give up. Instead, they're working overtime to influence some of our lawmakers. My friends, America is over $36 trillion in debt. We now have an administration in Washington that is dead set on reducing spending and getting us closer to a balanced budget. Medicaid changes, for example, are coming. What they will be, we do not yet know. But there is a large possibility that those changes will result in a greater spend by states who have enacted this type of welfare expansion. With all of the good things happening in Mississippi, especially when it comes to workforce development and economic development and job creation, now is not the time to expand welfare in our state. It's actually the worst possible time to do it. After all, why would we change course and sprint left when so many good things are happening here as a result of our conservative policies? Another way we will get our state to where we want to go is by giving parents more choices and by continuing to raise standards. We cannot keep doing the same old thing and expect to get new and improved results. Mississippi has produced some of the greatest authors to ever walk this earth. Entire courses have been taught on the volumes and volumes of books and passages they've written. But while our state's authors have perhaps the best vocabulary in the history of man, there are 3 words that should be permanently struck from Mississippi's dictionary. They are complacency and status quo. In 2025, we will keep our momentum going. We will see Mississippi's economy grow even more. We will see even more high-paying jobs created. We will see even more Mississippians with the skills they need to be successful in the jobs of the next 50 years. And we will see our state rise to even greater heights. But only if we commit to leaving our comfort zone. This is especially true in education. During my time as governor, we have seen record-breaking academic success in our state. It has been so profound that the New York Times, even the New York Times of all papers, referred to it as the Mississippi Miracle. We have seen record achievement from our kids in a variety of subjects. We have seen record high graduation rates, and we have seen record low dropout rates. Our kids are learning more than ever before, and our kids are graduating into one of the strongest economies in state history. Even earlier today, we received even more proof that what we have done is working. Mississippi's brand new hot off the press data from one of the top testing institutions, the National Association for Educational Progress, shows that we broke educational achievement records yet again. Listen to this. Our 4th graders are #1 in the nation. Let me say that again. #1 in the nation in reading and math test score growth. My friends, it's just not stopping. Mississippi kids achieved their highest ever rate of proficient and advanced scores on these testing measurements, the highest ever. Our African American students, you've heard me talk so many times about how proud we are of them being #5 in the nation on their testing scores amongst their peers. Well, we can no longer say that they're number 5 in the nation, because now they're number 3 in the nation amongst their peers. And we won't stop until they and all of our students are number 1. Our Hispanic students scored number 1 in the nation in reading and number 2 in math. Overall, our 8th graders ranked among only 13 states in the entire nation whose scores didn't fall this past year. I'm going to let these numbers sink in for a minute. Best in the nation, number 2 in the nation, number 3 in the nation. In fact, Mississippi's 4th graders now rank number 9 overall in America for reading scores, and they're number 16 for math. For so long, our teachers and our kids have been told they are last, they are 50th, they are at the bottom. Y'all, it's just not true. Mississippi is charging to the front of the pack with our education system and daring other states to keep up. We took bold action together, united under conservative policies, and we changed the course of Mississippi's future and the individual futures of our students. That is what it's all about. I could not be more proud of the teachers and the kids across our state who have worked so hard and shown the world exactly who we are down here in Mississippi. But, my friends, we must continue raising education standards in our state. We've come too far to take our foot off the gas now. I'll be the first to admit, raising standards will not be easy. It never is. In fact, it will most likely require a lot of uncomfortable conversations. It will force us, perhaps, to leave our comfort zone. But leaving our comfort zone is what must be done to leave our state with the best and the brightest future possible. I'm ready to do that. Are y'all? Now, there are some inside the establishment that, despite this amazing trajectory we find ourselves on, would have us do the complete opposite. Rather than raise standards, they would have us water them down, and they would force us to pass kids who are not yet ready. Some have even called for the elimination of testing requirements that help us gauge whether kids are proficient in algebra, biology, English, and U.S. history. There's no other way to say it, folks. In my view, these proposals are downright crazy. They should be a non-starter for every legislator here today, and we should not take them seriously. The same people calling for us to be derelict in our duty now are the same people who implied in 2013 that passing the 3rd grade reading gate would be disastrous for students across our state. These are the same people who eventually changed their tune years later after they saw the history-making results. Hey, better late than never, I guess. But in 2025, we should do more. That's because history has already proven that raising education standards benefits students and our state tremendously. That's why, in my most recent budget recommendation, I proposed overhauling how we grade schools in Mississippi. It is wrong that schools can be awarded with an A or a B rating when more than 70% of their students aren't proficient in reading. Let me say that again for the folks at home. There are schools in Mississippi who are hanging their hat on their rating when 70% of their students can't read at an adequate level. That's just flat out wrong, and we must put a stop to it. To truly best prepare our students for adulthood, we must hold school districts accountable. And that's why I propose revising the accountability system to place a greater weight on proficiency and less weight on growth in academic achievements. We got the nation talking about the Mississippi Miracle before. We're doubling down right now, and we'll have them talking about us again and again and again if we can get this done in our state. Our future is too important to accept anything less, and I look forward to working with all of you to make it happen. I'm in this for the long haul. And while we're at it, we should insist that our higher education institutions train Mississippians to earn. Far too many students are stuck in tracks that will not lead to fruitful careers. That may be fine for a few who want to go down academic rabbit holes, but the focus of our investment and our efforts should be preparing our kids to live well. We must focus on degrees that lead to lives of prosperity and stability. I've engaged in a lot of conversations with CEOs considering investing billions in our people. And I've never heard one of them ask if we have a workforce of gender studies students prepared to take their high-paying jobs. They are ready to pay Mississippi mechanics, engineers, and technologists. They are ready to take those trained in business and science and fill their families' bank accounts. We need a return on investment for the hundreds of millions of dollars we put into our colleges and universities, and that return should appear in the wages of our workers. I urge my friends in policymaking to consider innovative approaches to achieve this. My fellow Mississippians, our state is stronger than ever. That's because in the midst of all the special things happening here, we remain Mississippians. We are bold, creative, accomplished, and fearless. These qualities created the greatest year in Mississippi's history in 2024. And because we are Mississippians, in 2025, we will do it again for all Mississippi. May God bless you, and may God bless the great state of Mississippi. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Governor Reeves. The gentleman from Rankin, Representative Shanks, is recognized for a motion.
I move that the Joint Assembly now be dissolved.
Gentleman Rankin moves to dissolve the joint session of the Mississippi Legislature. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.